When inspiration strikes deep in the heart of November, better be prepared to catch it. Hello and welcome back to my writing journey. I'm Ellen Byerrum, author of The Crime of Fashion Mysteries, and I am a playwright. But today I am talking about inspiration, the topic of inspiration, which, granted, I have done before and I will do again because it is the heart and soul of writing. Now, I wanted to say I'm back after several weeks of being away. We were back east for a family wedding, which was glorious. We were in Philadelphia and New York, and then we came back and we got sick, so that is why I've been away from these videos for 3 weeks. You couldn't have heard me speak over the coughing that I was doing. I also realized that being away from house and home and all my responsibilities allowed my brain to breathe and give me a new idea for a story that I call The Portuguese Sailor. But I'll get back to that later. Talking about inspiration is key to writing, but it is the tenacity to finish it that gets your projects done. You must be able to start with the idea, the fire, the engine that starts the machine, and then come back to the everyday, the tasks that aren't so much fun, and you just have to keep at it. And I know that when you're in a dry spell, it is almost physically painful. But when inspiration strikes, you better be prepared to type it, to write it, or to speak it into a computer, or speak it into your phone, or however you record your thoughts and ideas and dreams. So there is inspiration, and there's also the antithesis of inspiration, which for me is NaNoWriMo. This is NaNoWriMo month, and I know many of you are deep in the heart of it. You are working very hard to get your word quotas in, and I wish you the best of luck. It works beautifully for some people, but it does not work for me, and that's because we're all different and all processes are different, and I will never tell somebody that this process works or this process works or you must do this. I have a real problem with that authoritarian tone of people who know the rules and what must be done, because everything's tailored to the individual. As a reporter, I could write a story almost at the drop of the hat, but now when I work on my writing, I don't want to be under a loaded metaphorical gun that tells me I have to write 50,000 words in a month. Also, I just want to say, I think having NaNoWriMo in November is insane. With all the holidays hot on our heels, and there are so many things to do. There are houses to clean, turkeys to buy, presents to purchase, families to placate, and keeping those families from killing each other. You are expected to pump out 50,000 words in spite of it all. There's very little time to enjoy the month, which is quite an enjoyable month if you think about it. There are bare trees and contemplation and wood smoke in the air, and if you just take a pause, you may find yourself face to face with your muse, or, at the back of your neck. But I am trying to talk about inspiration. I realized when going over my latest manuscript, I had included a piece about how it feels when inspiration strikes and you know it's the right idea. This selection is from Crook Tales for Two. It's quite far into the manuscript. I knew why Guido Moretti was killed. The thought suddenly hit me the way thoughts do, coming at you sideways, surprising you. It sneaked into my head while I was watching my play, following the actors click through their lines like clockwork. My brain apparently had the spare time to work out a motive for Guido's senseless murder. I peered around as if someone had whispered it in my ear. When I was in Philadelphia a couple of weeks ago, I had a similar experience. We were at a fabulous concert by Lorena McKennett at the Miller Theater. We were up in the nosebleed sections. I always wind up in the nosebleed section, high up in the tiniest of theater chairs where your knees knock into the seat in front of you. You also feel as if you look down, you are going to tumble out of your seat and wind up on the stage. However, when the lights went down and the music started, the show was magic. I leaned back in my seat to enjoy it. It was just stunning. an idea came at me sideways and stole into my brain, and I have an idea for a short story called The Portuguese Sailor. The more the music played, the more the idea grew. I sat back and let it play in the back of my mind. And it wasn't until we were on the plane back to Denver after a great trip that I was able to sketch out the rest of the story. But I had nothing to do except let the muse dictate The Portuguese Sailor. And it started to take shape, and thank goodness I had a notebook and pen and came up with the basic bones of the story by the time we were back. It's likely that in the month of November, the muse will be standing at your shoulder and you're ignoring her because you got too much to do. She will be there whispering ideas while you're stuffing the turkey or celery sticks, and someone will want to know where the wine is. But the muse will still be there, and you'll try to ignore her. But don't do that. Just try and get it down on paper or in a laptop. Best of luck with the multitasking. That's all I have for now, and I'll see you next week. Bye.